We meet today to discuss the first major reform of the EU medicines market in over 20 years, the directive and the regulation on the pharmaceutical package. We must be aware of the disproportions in the availability of the same medicines in different EU countries.
And the pharma package therefore proposes as you all know, a modulated system of incentives that rewards innovation and bring innovation to the EU citizens, regardless of where they were born or where they happen to live or what is their postcode. Concretely, pharma companies that are genuinely prepared to sell and take the necessary steps to sell their innovative medicines in all member states would get 2 more years of regulatory exclusivity, which means 2 more years of financially attractive earnings before the market opens to price competition.
Of course, obviously, we should this regulatory data protection, which is so important for stimulating innovation, also cannot go without any kind of limitation, just accumulate. And I think here also certain limitations are necessary so that we achieve also this balance, as I said, that we also make it possible that after a certain reasonable period, medicines are put on the market and made available for the healthcare systems also at lower prices. So I mean, the generic industry.
Every month of exclusivity, which practically means some sort of a longer monopoly, this has a clear budget implication. So for us, it is important to remind all of us of the basics, which is that we should still not lose sight and focus on the need to have affordable medicines.
This legislation is made for patients, even though it's a market legislation. And if it doesn't benefit patients, then it's not good legislation.
We have documented 50 cases, 50 cases, where generic or biosimilar medicines are delayed after patent or SPC expiry, which means we are extending artificially the monopolies in Europe. 50 cases.
If we know that already regulatory exclusivities can be used as a game, as a strategic use, this is something that we should absolutely avoid here. So we should put all the energy and action into such limitation and restrictions of all the possible strategic use of regulatory exclusivities as only possible. And my last thought, for the sake of well-balanced but also certain legal system, we need certainty in the legal sense.
The other thing we're trying to achieve, I think, is to make sure that Europe becomes a front runner again in producing innovative medicines, right?
It is important to balance the incentives for innovation with the accessibility and affordability and availability of medicines. And we must not forget that in the end, measures that can threaten the sustainability of healthcare systems will ultimately result in delays and in bad medicine for people.
We sometimes hear calls, also in some quarters of this parliament, that the period of exclusivity where companies earn more because they're not alone, they're still alone in the market, should be even extended. There, I would really like to make a call for caution. An additional year, a single additional year of standard regulatory protection would cost health systems, in our simulations, our calculations, 1.23 billion euros a year.
There is a requirement in a vast majority of non-European markets. Those countries require the generic company who wishes to register the product in their market to register the same product first in the country of manufacture. If data exclusivity period is to be longer in Europe, it actually means that European generic companies are not able to do their business in non-EU markets. And I think this is an aftermath of the change that was not really foreseen.